thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now? Let me check.
Do we have sound?
Ugh.
Do we have sound? Do we have sound? 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. Can you hear us now?
Yes, we do have sound.
All right,
We
cool.
do indeed
Let's play
have...
Captain Maven Race.
We do indeed have sound. Okay, so, hi, what's up? We're here because it's not...
Breaking news. Brock Lesnar
You just spit all over me.
has left the building.
That's not the breaking news, though, man. I mean, it is. It's part of it. But it's Vince. Vince announced his retirement from WWE. Like, completely. Like he will he no longer works for them.
He quit.
He's gone.
Vince McMahon is a quitter.
No, he retired.
Oh, yeah, he retired.
Literally, bro. What did I tell you? What did I say?
What?
What did I literally say? What did I literally say? Okay, I'm sorry. You people will understand what I'm saying. Okay, so this ties in with the Brock Lesnar thing. So, but we got to talk about this entire situation, okay? So, Vince McMahon. We know all about the Vince McMahon stuff that's been going on for the last, like, I don't know, months, 2 months. It's not been very long. But, like, the Washington, whatever. The website's called, I don't know, mainstream stuff. People know what it is.
Things are changing in
No,
WWE.
Wall Street Journal. There you go. The Wall Street Journal.
Washington
I
Post,
swear
Wall
I
Street
know what
Journal.
I'm talking
It's a newspaper.
I swear I know what I'm talking about. The Wall Street Journal. I know it started with the W, okay? Leave me alone. There's a lot going on. So the Wall Street Journal first dropped these articles about Vince McMahon covering up allegations, misconduct, stuff and things that he did, and he paid money to, like, cover this up. There was an initial story that dropped, and then there was a second story that dropped within, like, the last, like, 2 weeks. Pretty much saying that he's done this more than,
Once.
yeah, over the course of the last, like, 16 years or something. So, that whole situation happened. He was then taken off of the, like, he was removed from, like, the corporate side of things because the board was investigating him, and there's still an ongoing investigation with the board looking into the entire situation. And so he stepped away from being the CEO. Stephanie came in and was being the interim CEO of the company for the time being when this first story dropped, or when the second story dropped. I don't remember which one it was, but whatever, you know. So then after that, it was kind of quiet there for a minute, and then the second story dropped, and then it was all like, whoa. And John Laurinaitis was involved in this thing, and he was the head of talent relations, and there were a bunch of stories that came out about that. And so, fast forward to now, Vince McMahon has announced that he's retiring completely. From creative, from the corporate, from everything. He's done.
I'm thinking more stuff's about to drop.
I think, yes, I agree. I think more stuff is about to drop. I also do believe that, I think he was given an ultimatum. I think it was either you walk away on your own, or we're firing you. But you're leaving regardless.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Because there is no way that he would have walked out or said he's leaving without them going, if you don't do it, we will.
Yeah.
Because it's baffling.
Well, I think that, like I said, I'm not sure there won't be more stuff that's dropped, and obviously the board. Here's my thought: if WWE was still running smooth, if they still were drawing, I realize they're still drawing some big numbers,
but not what they were.
And they're not going to, simply because there's so much more on TV than there was, 20 years ago. But the fact that they got enough people complaining about storylines and the way things are going now, I think that if that was happening, I don't know, would they be forcing him out?
With this?
I think this is more of a force out than him just going, I'm just going to retire.
That's what I think. That's what I'm saying, is I think they said to him, you are leaving.
Retire or be fired.
And I think they gave him the opportunity to just walk out on his own, but they were still behind him saying, you're going regardless.
Yeah.
It does not matter whether you decide to leave on your own, we're giving you that option, or if you wait and let us fire you. You're done. It's over for you.
Let's face it, Vince didn't retire. He was fired due to budget cuts. That too, yes. And apparently, Brock Lesnar followed him out the door.
So, yeah, let's talk about that. Because I think that there's going to be, I think there's the possibility that there's going to be this whole big thing, with collateral damage after this. In the sense of, talent that have been loyal to Vince for however long they've been loyal to Vince, and feeling like they don't want to be there anymore because he's not there. And that kind of seems like what's happening with Brock. Essentially, a very short time after this news dropped, there was a memo, I guess, that was sent to talent, just within the last hour or so, letting people know that he's gone. Vince is gone from the company. Apparently, Brock was mad, and he left the building because he was supposed to be on SmackDown tonight, and he left. And the word is that essentially, whether he said this or not, or it was kind of along the lines of this, was, if he's gone, I'm gone. I legitimately just said that to you, when we were in the kitchen, getting ready to do this. I genuinely think that's probably the deal.
Yeah.
If he's gone, I'm gone. Because Brock has been such a Vince guy forever. He's gone in interviews and talked about how much Vince has done for him.
There's another major name.
It's not surprising that Brock would walk out, but it also is what? Because what are they gonna do if Brock doesn't want to come back? You have your biggest pay-per-view of the summer, in quotations, happening literally next weekend. So if Brock all of a sudden just decides, I'm done, I'm leaving, I'm not doing this because...
Here's the thing, they got 2 weeks. Well, a week.
They don't even have 2 weeks. SummerSlam is next weekend.
They could create storylines in a week.
They could,
They could create a good show in a week.
They could.
Because the crap they've been throwing out there, they could just throw something together.
Hypothetically.
And be better.
Hypothetically, yes.
Not supporting WWE again until Bruce Pritchard is officially gone from producing and creating. Let's not get too excited. I think that the thing is, I think that we could see some stuff happen now. I don't think that they're going to do it overnight. I think this will be kind of a slow process.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're going to see some changes. I think that we're going to see possibly some wrestlers or former wrestlers that were involved with the company going, I'm done. I'm out of here. So I think that they could throw something together to make this... They could throw something together to make SummerSlam better than what it was going to be. Technically, they could create storylines in 2 hours, but they're not going to be good. With Triple H, I think that if they start to have some of these other guys...
But he's not the head of creative, though. He's the head of talent relations.
If they have any type of... any type of... possibility of having any influence on any of this, I think that he could be involved in creating something in a short period of time to make SummerSlam better than what it was going to be.
Well, the word was last week is that even people backstage were not excited about the SummerSlam show. They were like, this is just it's not the card we want.
Yes.
So when you have your own creative team and your own people sitting there saying, this is not the card that we want to put on for the show, but that's what we're going to put on anyways, I think it pretty much tells you everything you need to know.
Well, and maybe creative actually gets creative and gets to be creative.
But again, I don't think.
We always blame creative for stuff, but at the end of the day, the one guy that's in charge of...
It's a crappy creative team, dude.
I'm not saying they are, but the guy that's
rotates them so much.
But but that's the point: is who's the guy that's in charge of all of it?
I understand that. I'm not saying that. I'm hoping for change. Change would be nice to make the shows more enjoyable, to watch during the week, because Monday Night Raw at this point is straight up unbearable sometimes. But it's. You also have to look at this as okay, Vince is gone, and I think that things have the potential to get better, but also you still have the same people like Kevin Dunn, like Bruce Pritchard, like whoever else still working. And my assumption would be is they're still going to try and continue doing what they were doing before, even if Vince is gone. So it's, I don't know. It's a very interesting situation, and I feel like Vince leaving does have the potential to have to leave collateral damage, but
rumor is Brock did walk out. So that's kind of where we're at with that. The real war begins as well. There might be a real war within WWE. We'll see what happens here. If you got people that are wanting to walk now that were Vince guys, where do we go from here? And who's gonna walk out? I don't think we're getting changed. Maven must look at Mandy Rose outfit. The thing is I don't know what kind of changes we're gonna get, and I don't know how quick they're gonna happen. I think that they are, obviously, if Brock walked out, if any other wrestlers walk out and say they're done, then SummerSlam is kind of gonna be a
in the air pay-per-view.
Well, what are we doing with this? It was anyway, I felt.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that there was anything amazing there.
They need to call them unprofessional like they did to Sasha and Naomi. Oh, yes. Yes. I think they should. It tells you everything you need to know about, if they don't say anything about it, because Brock was supposed to be on the show, he was advertised for the show, and if they say nothing about it on television, like I said, it tells you everything you need to know about the situation and how they're going to handle it.
Well,
if they don't do the same thing they did with Sasha and Naomi.
Doesn't it prove a point, though? Doesn't it prove that what Sasha and Naomi did was the right thing? Because they know where things are headed. They know how things are going.
Yeah. Thank you, Maven. Vince leaves, but the backstage politics stay the same. Hey, DTA Podcast, what is up? How's it going? Yeah, I think that's going to be the thing about it is I think Vince being gone is a step in the right direction, but you still have these other guys that have worked under Vince for the last 20 plus years, and they are still going to continue to try to push his stuff and his everything that he's been doing for the company forever. They're still going to attempt to do that, I think, until they get told, like, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where they go, see what happens. And tonight could be interesting. I mean, tonight could definitely be interesting on what happens. Who are they going to have to change some stuff up? Are they going to, where are they going to go with the show tonight? With this coming down. Here's the thing. I'm shocked it happened now. Like, why did he do it now?
I do agree that it's a very interesting thing to do it today, especially with the fact that they have one of their big 4 pay-per-views happening next week. It's very interesting, the timing of it, which it makes you wonder if there's going to be something else that drops between now and the next big show next week. So I don't know. It's very interesting timing because he could have easily waited, unless they were really like, we want you out of here now. It's just such odd timing.
It is, and that's why I wonder why did he do it now? He could have waited till next Monday, come on Raw, let him get out, let him step out there, and unless they just said don't be on TV. But he could have came out and said I'm retiring, and that would have been it, So I don't know. I don't know that. I
need this.
I don't know that doing it now is just kind of odd.
Yeah.
With the week before a big pay-per-view, a couple hours before your SmackDown show.
It
just makes you wonder why now, why all of a sudden, why not wait until, after your pay-per-view, because it's only a week away, unless there's more stuff that's about to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I could figure as to why this had to be done now.
WSJ said more wrestlers are talking, which is not surprising because they think it's like... I don't think it's surprising in the least that there's more people that are coming out and, telling whatever happened to them. It's not surprising, and I think it's only going to get worse for Vince. Because there's, like, a lot of crap that he's done, bro. Like... Whether he wants to admit to it or not, it's not like any of this is, like, unknown. It's like people knew about this stuff. But it's not been, like, publicized to this degree until now. And that's what makes Vince such a liability to the company and why I think that they were really pushing for him to leave and pushing for him to get out and they wanted him out because he is a liability to the company. He is. Promoters and sponsors aren't going to want to work with WWE if stories like this keep dropping and he's still there working. It's going to go downhill.
Well, and I think it'll go downhill if he continued to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is we have known Vince McMahon has had issues and has covered stuff up like pretty much since he took over, So it's nothing new that stuff was covered up.
No.
I think the difference between now and like 20 years ago is the fact that you have social media, that you have...
and it's also public now.
Well, because it's social media. I mean, if it wasn't for social media, I don't think there's a lot of stuff that would be covered up that wouldn't be out there now. Now, you can, in 2 seconds, information's out there. Mm-hmm. And everybody has it.
Yeah.
It's not anything that's new. It's not anything that is hidden. So I think that that is, one of the issues that Vince thought he could get away with a lot of stuff forever.
And I think he's finding out.
And I think because a lot of it is because of social media and the way things are now, compared to where they were 25 years ago.
Timing has to be about more to tell. WWE would take a lot of heat for not cracking down if he stayed. I agree. I believe criminal charges are pending. That's the thing about it that's so, like, makes you question because of this whole, like, the first story that dropped with, like, that he paid $3 million or something. Was that with company money? Was that with his own money? I don't know if it was ever really specified. Maybe it was and I just missed that. But, like, it's... There might have been some, like, really shady stuff that was going on where he may or may not have used, like, company funds to, like, pay off these people. And that's not cool.
No, it's not. And
pretty illegal.
Which is why...
So, that's where, if it's headed in the direction of being, like, criminal stuff, it would not be, shocking if that was the case.
Which makes me think that this is why he did it now rather than wait. I think that it's simply because there's more... Either you know, we're going to have charges pressed against him, or there's going to be more stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And the board has been told, hey, this is what's coming. You can either press him to get you know, end it and get out and stop being the face, or you know, you can look really bad when this other stuff comes out, or there's charges pressed against him. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, again, it's going to be interesting to see what other wrestlers. I mean, obviously Brock Lesnar says he's out from the reports. Who else is going to go?
It's a very interesting situation, and I genuinely think it's just going to get worse.
Well, I think it may get worse before it gets better, just because who are Vince guys? Who are Vince's, you know, I don't want to say puppets, because I mean, but they kind of are. Because if he calls them up and says, "Hey, we need you here. Could you come?" Mm-hmm. And then they're there. So who else has been Vince's puppets? Who has been Vince's go-to people when he needs them? Mm-hmm. Obviously Brock, because he'll come back for a payday. Who else?
I don't know. Off the top of my head.
Who in the company right now has been a Vince's people?
Vince guy for like forever.
I mean,
really, like mostly what comes to my mind is just the like the corporate side of things, the business side of things, whatever. Like the Bruce Pritchards and the whatever the other guy's name is, the shaky camera dude, Kevin Dunn, guys like that who have literally worked with him for like 20 plus years. That's like where my mind goes to, and those are like the people that are still in charge of stuff.
Well, some of them might end up quitting anyway. Some of them might say we're done and out because things are going to be changing. I'm sure that they're seeing the writings on the wall that things are going to probably change. Mm-hmm. I can't see things happening. You know, Brock walking away, you already see the signs of changes happening. Mm-hmm. And it's just a matter of how deep and how much talent does it go to. And maybe, you know, I don't know if anybody's paid attention. Bray Wyatt has been putting stuff out there. He's got a couple videos out. The videos that I showed you. Uh-huh. Did he know something?
I don't know.
Think about it.
I still don't buy into any of it. I think it's a joke, but it's like fan made or whatever. But regardless. Yeah, I don't know. Orton maybe. Orton's a guy who's been with the company forever, and yeah, it seems like he would. But I don't. Again, he's another one that I really could not see leaving. Like with Brock, I do feel like Brock would be one to walk out, like for sure. Like it just seems like he would be one to leave.
Well, I think
Orton, I just don't get that vibe from him. Like, I mean, maybe he would, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that the only reason Bray would come back is like Richard says here. Bray is only coming back if he has 1,000% creative control. I agree. I think that's Bray will not let someone else run the show now. I think when he comes back, he's gonna want to have like a huge part of control of his characters. So I think that you know. I think it opens a possibility of Bray coming back now. Mm-hmm. Simply because I think he would have more creative control with some other people in charge. Mm-hmm. Where right now with the way it is, you know, I don't see a lot of the wrestlers having any control over anything. What does this do to Austin Theory?
I think his push is probably like dead in the water. I think giving him Money in the Bank was the biggest like Vince like parting gift of like, you know, I'm just gonna do this because I can. It makes I don't understand the whole Austin Theory hype or whatever, and he's very much so been like Vince's whatever you want to call it, like the chosen one, and it's I don't know where that goes now. Triple H is back with the he's the EVP of Talent Relations.
Yes.
So, and that was announced this morning before.
Dude is taking his last selfie.
That was announced this morning before any of this Vince stuff dropped.
Ads plays, we got some breaking news. That's why we're here. We are early. Yes, we are early. We're early for SmackDown because tonight's show could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Will we see changes? Will we see a build-up, you know, a 1 week build-up for SummerSlam with some changes happening? Are we going to see, I mean, again, Austin Theory, talking about him, what are we going to see for him? What's next for WWE? That is a good question. I do not know. I don't know. I mean, I think that with Vince out of the way, things could definitely change. They could be, you know, we could see some things happening that that we haven't seen in a long time in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it could be a change for the better. In fact, I think it could be a change for the better for wrestling in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that we, as wrestling fans, could start enjoying SmackDown and Raw. Now, again, I don't expect things to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's going to take them some time, you know, here. I think within a couple weeks we should start seeing some changes in the way things are going, and we may see some changes in story writing starting next week, I would say, after SummerSlam. I think the issue you have right now is you're so close to your pay-per-view, it's going to be tough to change some stuff up, but I think it can be done. It's just a matter of whether they're willing to do it. We can finally get good ratings and shows again. Yeah, that's just it. I think we can get some good shows. I think that the interest could be there. We could have more people interested in what's happening in WWE. You know, I think that the show tonight, like I said, is going to be interesting just because of what the impact this has. I mean, obviously, it's not just a Vince McMahon impact. If Brock is leaving because Vince is gone, there's an impact there.
Yeah, so that is being said that he literally left right upon finding out that Vince had retired. And the word is that he was supposed to be all over SmackDown tonight. So it's...
So you've got a story. You've got
so now you
creative
have
now having to
scramble to do something
to get something thrown together, which is what I said. Maybe this is a good thing. They can throw something together, and it's not going to be worse than what it would have been.
But the problem is like, even they throw together their show every week. What are we talking about, man? They throw together their show every week is thrown together, so it doesn't make a difference, like really whether or not, you know, they'll scramble to do something anyways because they like scrap the script 5 minutes before they're supposed to go on television anyways, and they're still rewriting the show as they're on the air. So this is nothing new for them.
No, it's not.
But that doesn't mean the content that they're going to put out is good.
Well, I'm not saying that the content's going to be good. Like I said, this is going to take some time, and I wouldn't expect anything major to come for a couple weeks. I think they got to get through this pay-per-view next week before we potentially start to see some changes in where things are going. And you got to build, like I said, and I've always said, you have to build storylines to build towards your pay-per-views. And if if they're not building the storylines, people get tired of watching the same stuff over and over again. And this is where I said is how much impact is this going to have overall? How much impact is this going to have on wrestling?
Well, that's what I don't know. I think WWE should probably be the main focus at this point because I think WWE needs like more improvement than anything else. In the sense of like it's been this way for so long and people have been tired of it for a really long time, and I think that Vince being gone has the potential, keyword potential, to be the shot in the arm that they need to make some good quality content for their weekly shows, for their pay-per-views, for their whatever. Like, Vince leaving is a step in the right direction, but it's what they do with it that's going to be, like, the deciding factor. Because they could just sit here and continue doing everything that they were doing before Vince even left.
Yeah.
And it's still not, it's not going to change anything. It's just Vince leaving in name only. If they continue writing the way they do and producing content the way they do, it doesn't matter.
Which makes me think that they will change. I think we will see a change. I don't think this is going to be, and again, I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I think it's going to take some time. I think we could start to see changes happening in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. They might have to do it sooner than a couple weeks, especially if Brock is off the pay-per-view.
Well, it just depends on who else is saying, "Hey, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I'm not going with this. So we need to make changes now." So I mean, it's going to depend on who else is kind of balking at the idea of wanting to go out there with Vince being gone. You know? And so when you have this happen, and you have it happen a couple hours before your show, and a week before your pay-per-view, one of your bigger pay-per-views, there's more to the story. And obviously, the people that Vince was close to, that came back and wrestled for him and did stuff for him to make sure, in a pinch, obviously they didn't know this was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, if Brock is just up and leaving and like shocked by it, then you know that this wasn't, like they're like, wow, this has happened. What's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Very interesting. It's a very interesting situation nonetheless, and I don't know. The timing, the Vince just leaving, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought? You know what I mean? We all sit here and we're like, Vince is never going to leave. He's literally going to die sitting in the chair writing a script for Monday Night Raw. And that's what everybody thought. And then he, all of this happens and he is forced into retirement.
Well, and that's just it. I think that
it's crazy.
That's the crazy part is that,
because nobody thought this was ever going to happen.
No. I mean, again, this was out of the blue. And especially on, like I said, before before SmackDown and a week before your big pay-per-view. It's why all this happening now is just crazy. And the only thing I can figure the reason it happened now is because there's more stuff coming out, or possibly someone said something about criminal charges being pressed.
I agree.
I mean, something big has to be happening. Ames talked about old NXT. If they went with the way of the old NXT, I could handle going the way of having shows based on old NXT because they were really good. I loved NXT, and then they went to NXT 2.0 and everything changed. So it's I think that there could be some good out of this, but we'll see. I'm trying to be positive, but I don't think WWE can survive post-Vince. If Steph and Hunter can live up to their exact time roles, she has basically posted a CBO to then become a CEO. The thing is, I think that a lot of them were kind of forced out. I think a lot of them didn't feel comfortable doing with the stuff they were doing.
Well, and the other thing that is really interesting about the situation is Nick Khan. And Nick Khan was brought in 2 years ago by Vince to begin scrapping everything and redoing business models and redoing partnerships with people. He's the one who played a huge role in getting the deal with Peacock. It was Nick Khan, and he's made a lot of business stuff happen for WWE. So it kind of makes you wonder if Vince like knew in some sort of way that this was coming, and he was setting up Nick Khan to be ready to take over in some capacity. Like obviously, it's Nick Khan and Stephanie who are co-CEOs of WWE now. That's what was put out in the statement from WWE, and so it really does make you wonder if Vince knew that something was going to happen. And he knew that something was going to go down, so he brought Nick Khan in to help, like, rework some of these things and have him get familiar with the product and have him get familiar with all of this stuff that was going on within WWE, so then he could eventually take over.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's...
Because he's made a lot of things happen for WWE that just haven't happened before.
Yeah.
Partnerships, deals,
yeah.
All of this different stuff has been because of Nick Khan.
Well, and that's, again, it's a matter of getting the creative writing for the product that's being put out there. Mm-hmm. WWE has lived off of the fact that they're WWE for a long time now. Not because they put out a good product. Mm-hmm. It's because they're WWE. And not that because and you have to separate the wrestlers, the performers from the storylines and the stuff that's being put out there, because don't take this as...
The quality of the wrestlers is way above the quality of the actual product that they're being given.
And so when you have to separate the two and understanding that the performers are there. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of getting the stories to make the performers, to allow the performers to go out and do their thing.
Yeah.
And make the product what it can be.
I agree.
And I don't think that we will see huge changes right away.
Also, the thing with Titus on Monday, how weird is that? With the thing where he came out and said WWE is like an all-inclusive place. Like, that was so weird. Like, then it was just so out of the blue, and he came out on Monday, and they did that whole thing. So, again, it makes you wonder if, like, Vince knew this was happening at the end of the week.
No, here's my question.
Like, I don't know, man. It's so weird.
Or, because Titus seemed like he was really uncomfortable stepping out there.
I just don't know, man.
If you looked at it, like, Vince put him out, if Vince did this, and he put him out there and said, hey, I need you to go out and do this, and put this out there, just to try, because they're not going to let me, like, everybody's telling me not to step out there. Right? So, did Vince tell him to go out there and put this out there?
I have no idea, but the entire thing was so weird. It was so weird. But it's so baffling, because it adds in, like, more to the situation of, like, what is happening.
Put Paul in charge? I mean, put
honestly,
him in charge.
Paul Heyman in charge of creative would be the best move, honestly, at this point.
Yeah. I think
Get out of here, Bruce Pritchard. We don't want you. Paul Heyman being in charge of creative for SmackDown for the short time that he was probably the best SmackDown that we'd seen in a while.
Yeah.
So if you were to put him in charge of creative again, it would be brilliant. It'd be brilliant, and I think that's what they should do. I don't think they will.
Here's what I think we could see. We could see, the forbidden door from WWE, at least on their side, could be opened up.
With Vince gone?
Yes.
I mean, maybe.
And I don't think it would take a long time for them to do it.
I'm not getting my hopes up or anything, but I think that Nick Khan would probably be more willing to it than Vince.
Why wouldn't you? You could
but
have.
But that's what I'm saying, though, is Nick Khan with, like, the business, the idea of, like, this is going to draw in more business for your company. I don't know why they're so against it. I do, because they want to be the only big professional wrestling company in existence, and it is WWE's way or the highway. And it's been like that for so long. And so I wonder if that narrative will kind of be squashed.
Well, it's been like that for so long because of Vince.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, though, is I wonder if that narrative will be squashed because Vince is gone.
And so...
And if there will be more kind of leeway in what they can and can't do and what they let their performers do and don't do. It'll be interesting to see, because I think it really does have the potential to open a lot of doors, but it also might not. I mean, it'll just depend, and we'll see.
Yeah.
There's so much that could happen, but it genuinely comes down to the will it or won't it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is there could be some some things happen here now with new leadership. Thomas says WWE was originally going to do NJPW versus WWE, but Vince shut it down, and that is one of the reasons Bryan left for AEW. Yeah, and I think that this is something they could do. I mean, think about the pay-per-view you could put together. Think about the pay-per-view you could put together with your talent, NJPW, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, MLW, any of them. Think about a big pay-per-view that you could put out there where there's a buzz and people are talking, and you don't have to build up. You could have a month there, because with all the pay-per-views that WWE does, they could take out one of their pay-per-views. Mr. G, imagine the Forbidden Door being opened and the matches AEW versus WWE could have. I know, that's just it. The matches they could have could be incredible.
Brock has been removed from the promotion for SmackDown tonight. He was on the website as being like posted like front and center, like Brock Lesnar live. It's not on there anymore. It's gone.
Well, as long as we still have Maximum Male Models showing up, that's the important thing. Because I want to see their beachwear line.
Yeah, Maxine Dupree. It's his sister, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what it's supposed to be. That's highly exciting,
Yeah.
right? We get to see that tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be like, whoa!
It'll be amazing. Vince will never retire. Vince is gone.
Honestly, I'm going to assume Nick Khan has, like, the Vince's vision. So doubt anything is changing for the better. Also, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, Export.
Yes, Export, how you doing?
Yeah, there's so much potential for things to happen, but again, it all just comes down to if they decide to do it or not.
Invasion storylines would be cool. Again, there's so much they could do with this. If you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel, we'd appreciate it. We show up,
But
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
I don't know. I feel like the other thing that we kind of need to take into account is like Stephanie, and I'm not familiar with like I guess she's like done some stuff for WWE and people know about it, but also I mean she's a McMahon. So how different is her vision of WWE from Vince's?
That's what I don't know. That's the interesting part.
Because I know in reports and such, it's kind of been said that like people are excited. People, when this first dropped or whatever, and she was first named interim CEO, people were like excited to see what was going to happen with it, and like talent was kind of interested in seeing where it goes, and they were excited to have Stephanie on as CEO instead of Vince. But I don't know. It's a very, again, it's so super interesting and just crazy. I don't know how else to, like, it's just crazy that any of this happened.
Well, again, I think it's quick.
Insane.
Out of the blue, a week before your big pay-per-view, and it's just like nuts. Mister G would, you never know what you're going to see with Mister G, wearing the dress with the makeup was crazy.
There is a replacement for SummerSlam in place for Brock, but obviously they're trying to get him to come back. That's from Brian Alvarez, as of 3 minutes ago. So there's apparently a replacement in line to take
Mr. G OnlyFans.
To take Brock's place at SummerSlam. They already have somebody lined up to take his place, but they want Brock back.
Yes.
So who the heck is taking Brock's place? Seth. Give it to Seth. Give it to Seth, bro. Literally, give it to Seth. Roman and Seth? I'm all for it, man. It should have been Seth's spot anyways, but whatever. Give it to Seth.
An interesting question. Will you see Sasha and Naomi returning after this news?
No. I genuinely think both of them are done.
I could see Naomi coming back before Sasha, but I don't think either one will come back. Seth definitely deserves it.
Give it to Seth, for reals. I mean, did anybody see his tweet from yesterday? After the Cody ESPYs thing? I'm going to have to find it. Because, I don't know, man. Seth is a guy who's always been very upfront about being a company dude. And the tweets that he put up yesterday were very much so, like, not in line with, like, I'm for the company. So Cody Rhodes got, he got the 2022 WWE Moment of the Year at the ESPYs for the Hell in a Cell match that he did with Seth, but only Cody got the ESPY. And so Seth put out a tweet, says, truly, screw this guy, screw ESPN, screw WWE, and screw you scumbags out there who continue to overlook me, discredit me, and undermine me. None of this exists without me. For those of you who have my back, I hear you singing my song every night. He follows that up with another tweet that says, I didn't have a last name to get my foot in the door. I don't pack it in and go home when things get tough. I don't take more than I give. I'm not a chosen one. I shoulder the effing load every single time. Make everyone around me better, and over-deliver on the regular. Are you kidding? I am not a Seth Rollins stan, okay? I'm not. I like Seth Rollins. I think he's a very talented performer. I've not necessarily agreed with everything that he's said about WWE in the past, for sure. But you literally cannot deny that the guy has literally been working his butt off for the last, I want to say 2 years, but it's been longer than that. And they constantly are like, here, we're going to give you the world title picture, but then they're like, haha, no, just kidding. Not for you, not today. We're going to give it to somebody else like Brock or something. It's so frustrating. And, to give Cody the SP for the match that Seth was in too? What? I don't know, man. And for him to put out tweets like that, now whether or not that was him being in character or him whatever it was, to me it didn't feel that way. It genuinely felt like he was screw this. I'm here. And he gets all the accomplishments. I was a part of that too. Genuinely, that's what it felt like. And for Seth Rollins, who's been a company guy for so long, to put out a tweet like that, 2 tweets like that are I'm kind of over this. It's very telling, in my opinion. It's very telling.
Yeah. And the fact that, that he's been in a lot of stuff.
Constantly.
And
he's constantly this close. Money in the Bank should have been his.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Cody's, but Cody was out because he was injured, so it should have been given to Seth.
Yeah.
But they decided to give it to Austin Theory.
In the past, both participants have gotten the award.
I know. It's so, I don't know. I feel like it's a giant slap in the face to Seth.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things that I think that there are certain wrestlers that need to learn that maybe toeing the company line isn't always the best thing to do. Obviously, Sasha and Naomi said that, hey, we're done. This is stupid. What you're doing with us is dumb. What you're doing with these belts is dumb. And maybe if they had more people speaking up, then things would have been different. But you let this go for so long that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
They'll bring Cody back to face Roman.
I agree. I think Cody is getting the title from Roman regardless at WrestleMania, because that's when he's going to want to be back. I think he'll be back for Rumble. I think he's winning the Royal Rumble, and then that's how he's getting his match with Roman. But and I think everybody knew that, but it was supposed to happen sooner, and then it didn't, and then you have Seth sitting there.
The problem with Roman's run as a heel is the fact that it's the same stuff every week.
Yeah.
He comes out, says he's head of the table, talks about being the Usos go, we're the ones, and you're the twos. And when you just rinse and repeat, it gets old. Mm-hmm. If they'd done it, a couple weeks and then had a pay-per-view where he fought and then changed things up, Mm-hmm. But they don't do that. And that's the bad thing about it is but that's story writing.
The original Wall Street Journal story broke June 15th. It's only been 37 days since the first story broke, and Vince is gone from the company.
Yeah.
37 days.
So.
Crazy.
Seth Rollins needs to be champ. I think he should be champ too.
I agree. If you need a replacement for SummerSlam, give it to Seth.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
So the breaking news, Vince McMahon is gone, Brock Lesnar is gone. What is going to happen tonight on SmackDown?
I'm not sure, but you should come back and find out.
Yes. We will be back in about an hour and 45 minutes as we will be live covering SmackDown tonight. So all of you that are in here right now, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you know when we go live. Because on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, we are live. Pay-per-views, we are live. Come join us. We loved having all of you here. It's been great. And, 37 likes, 53 people watching. Who's not hitting the like button?
Give the video a thumbs up.
Get it done.
Give the video a thumbs up.
So, until about an hour from now, hour and 45 minutes from now, we will see everybody. Remember, watch SmackDown tonight, because we have no clue what's happening.
Yeah, and maybe come back and watch our show of us watching SmackDown.
Yeah.
That would also be nice.
Yeah, that would work out. You could come back and watch our show of us, and we'll tell you what's happening on SmackDown. We'll let you know if SmackDown is good or not.
Yeah, so come back.
Yes. Until then, peace out, everybody.